Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of A Journey to Happiness. Happy Memorial Day. If you hear this, I'm hoping to get out tonight. I'm a little bit late today because it's the holiday weekend. But if you don't, and it doesn't come out until Tuesday, then, because I don't know yet, but happy belated Memorial Day, I guess I could say. So this weekend has had me thinking about a lot of things. And one of the things that had me thinking about was loving ourselves, right? And what does it truly mean to love ourselves? Because I feel like all of us are out here preaching, oh, it's you just need to love yourself. You just need to have self-worth and love yourself, and everything's going to be grand and perfect. But nobody ever really tells you how to love yourself, And so I've actually been thinking about that a lot over the weekend because I took a 4-day weekend. And so I took Friday off because I had Monday off already. And I decided this weekend was about me. This weekend was nothing, it wasn't about anybody else, but it was about me. It was about what I wanted to do. So I wanted to get my garden planted, which I've got my garden. Woohoo! I got it all finished. I wanted to relax. I wanted to, just do what I wanted to do. And that was what got me thinking about this whole self-love journey. So I want to talk about that a little bit with you guys. So what does it mean to love yourself? It means putting yourself first. So I think that society is just fucked up sometimes, if I'm being honest with you. Because I think especially for women, but sometimes for men too, but especially for women, we are in this state of everybody else has to come first, We are constantly saying my family comes first, my kids, my spouse, my parents, my siblings. We say that these people come first, but really it shouldn't be like that. We should come first. And I'm guilty of this. We're all guilty of this. I've constantly said, like, my kids come first, my family comes first. And I don't mean that we should come first. Like, obviously, like, I would take a bullet for my kids, right? As most of us would. But we have to put ourselves first because if we don't come first, then we can't even be the good mother and we can't even be the good wife or the good daughter or the good sister that we want to be. We have to come first. Me, myself, I have to come first. And so this weekend, I knew I was going to paint at my mom's. I knew that was going to happen. I had already agreed that we would paint. But there were some other things happening, and I had said to my family, because there were some things going on Friday, and I said, "Look, this weekend is all about me. I will come down and I will paint on Saturday because we were already getting together for a bonfire, so I knew that that was going to happen. But other than that, like this weekend was about me." And I said that to them. And thankfully, my family has kind of adjusted to me like doing that. They've kind of adjusted to me like putting myself first, and they're pretty supportive of it. But they weren't at first. So that's the first step that I have. Like when we talk about putting ourselves first and how we do that, I'm going to tell you, you have to tell your people. You have to tell whether it's your family, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your siblings. You have to straight up tell them, like, this is about me. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to come first. Whether it's today, whether it's this week, whether it's forever, whatever it is, like, you have to tell your family. And I'm going to tell you this, they're not going to be happy at first. They're going to look at you like you have grown two heads. They're going to look at you like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because again, society teaches us that everybody else should come first. That it's all, especially as women, like we're supposed to be in the house and cooking the dinners and doing all of the things and taking the kids to practices and all the stuff and pleasing our men. And I say, screw that because we have to come first. And that goes for anybody. And so that is the first step in loving yourself. You have to come first. You have to make yourself a priority. So, how do you do that? How do we make ourselves a priority? Well, first of all, we say no to things that we don't want to do. And that is a big, big step. We grow up and we're like programmed to be these people pleasers, right? We think that we have to please everybody else and that it's all about what they want and that we have to do what they want so they're happy with us and our kids are taken care of and our parents are taken care of and our spouse is taken care of. And while that's all good and grand, okay, like obviously we want those people to be well taken care of. At the same time, like we have to take care of us first because if we don't, then who's going to? Right? So that's the first step. If you want to know how to love yourself, you start putting yourself first. And let me tell you this. If you are so I because I think a lot of people don't realize they don't love themselves. They think, oh, like they have all this confidence and they think that they are doing great and they think that they love themselves and all the things, but yet they're in a toxic relationship. They're in a toxic relationship and no matter what happens, they always go back, et cetera, et cetera. If you're one of these people, then I'm telling you, you don't love yourself. Subconsciously, you feel worthless. You feel like you don't deserve happiness. Like if you are letting people walk all over you, then you don't love yourself. So that's the first thing, right? I guess the first step would be becoming aware. Become aware that you don't love yourself because if you're letting yourself be treated in these situations, then you don't love yourself. So become aware of that. Second is going to be putting yourself first. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to start making a date with yourself. Make a date with yourself to where, like, that's what I did this weekend because I was like, this weekend is all about me because I haven't had a weekend like that in a long time. So I said this weekend is about me. And like, one of my things for this weekend was going to be planting my garden. Like, I wanted to get my garden going and I got it done today and I was super happy. But no matter what happened, unless somebody was in the fucking hospital, that garden was getting done. Like that garden, I was not dropping it for anybody else. That was my time to play in the dirt and be on the ground and ground myself and just get some vitamin D. And that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I did. And so this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to practice this. This is the first step and becoming like and starting to love yourself is make a date with yourself. And it doesn't matter what that date is. It could be just soaking in the bathtub for an hour. It could be playing in your garden, planting some flowers. It could be just watching Netflix and eating some popcorn. But what I want you to do is I want you to make a date with yourself and don't do it last minute. Don't just be like, "Oh, okay, it's Monday night at 8:30 at night. I'm just gonna you know, decide I'm going to take a bath and no one's going to interrupt me." No, you need to make a date with yourself. So it's Monday. Tell yourself on Friday, I am going to take a bath and I'm going to soak there for an hour at 7 o'clock at night. 7 o'clock at night, I'm going to take a bath and I'm going to soak in that bathtub and I'm going to be there for an hour and nobody's going to disturb me. I'm going to put my phone in the other room. I'm going to light some candles. I'm going to drink me a glass of wine and I'm just going to relax in the bathtub. And no matter what happens, you don't change these plans. You don't change them unless somebody's in the hospital on their deathbed. It's the only time you change them. This right here, folks, will be the first step in putting yourself first. And when you do this, other people will start to value you. You will start to get relationships in your life that will also value your time and your energy. Because if you're not putting yourself first, the thing is nobody else is going to put you first because the world is a reflection. It's a mere reflection back to yourself. So, you need to do this in order to even get other people to start putting you first. So that's the first step, okay? The second thing is having those boundaries. Like, again, this is also kind of goes along with the first step. You got to have boundaries, and that means learning how to say no. Say no to things you don't want to do. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, your family might be upset with you. Your friends might be upset with you. But you know what? Who gives a shit? Because they're not living your life. You're the only one living your life. So if they get upset with you, then so be it. Let them be upset with you. But you have to learn to put yourself first because, again, you can't even be the good wife or the good mother or the good daughter or the good sister if you don't put your needs above everybody else's. And once you put your needs above other people's and you start meeting your own needs, then you don't need to rely on outside validation to meet those needs for you. Therefore, happiness, okay? You're going to be happier because you're meeting your own needs above everybody else. And when you meet your own needs, you don't need other people to do it for you. So these are some things to do to start loving yourself. Because the thing is, we're all born perfect, right? We are born without the drama. We are born without the beliefs that we've grown to so accustomed to over the years and years that we've been on this planet that we call Earth, right? And it's because we have, these things have happened to us over the years that have caused us to doubt ourselves. It's caused us to have low self-confidence. It's caused us not to love ourselves. It's caused us to think that love was on the outside of us. It's caused us to think that self-worth was on the outside of us, that loving ourselves was over here, like, and none of us have it, right? I would say like so many people don't even love themselves. And it took me a long fucking time to get here. Like I will tell you now, it took me so many years, so many toxic relationships, so much of just thinking that I wasn't worth anything, I put everybody above my own needs. I put my kids, my boyfriends, my parents. I don't have siblings, so I can't say that, but everybody was above me. And so I relied, what happened was I relied on everybody else to get my needs met. So it had to be, and it was normally boyfriends, right? It was normally men. I had to rely on men to meet my needs because I didn't know how to meet my own needs. Like I didn't know how to soothe myself. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to make myself whole without outside validation. But a couple years ago, when I started realizing all of this and I started diving into like all of the self-help journeys and the spiritual awakening journeys and all of the things that I went through, I realized like, holy fuck, like I don't love myself. So how can I expect somebody else to love me if I don't even love myself? And so that led me on a super like huge journey of like how to love myself. And that's where I am now. So that's why I'm bringing this to you guys because I think this is a huge topic that so many of us need to understand. And I just feel like nobody tells us how to do it though. Like I had to learn, like I had to learn how to love myself and how learning how to love yourself is it's such a marvelous journey. And it does start with us and it starts with God and it starts with like it's so beautiful when you think about like we were born perfect. We were a piece of God that was born into this life that came here to experience soul evolution. And when you can think about it that way, like we are all so perfect, but we just strayed along the way, right? And it's just time to get back to that perfection. It's time to get back to loving ourselves. So, how do we do it? Again, we're going to start putting ourselves first, right? You're going to start realizing that you are a perfect resemblance of God, okay? That is how you're going to get back to loving yourself because you are perfect. You were undamaged when you were born. And if you didn't have it when you were born, then you shouldn't have it now. So, any of the negative thoughts going around in your brain, any of all like that bullshit that we all like, you know, like fall into, it's just a lie you're telling yourself. It's all negative bullshit. So get rid of that stuff right now and start putting yourself first. Start saying no to the things you don't want to do. Start doing the things that you do want to do. Start meeting yourself too, because that's another thing that I've been doing. I did not know that I like to garden. To me, like that just did not even sound fun a year ago. Like cooking, hated to cook a year ago. But along the way, I decided I needed to be healthier. So I developed a cooking habit and developed a like for cooking. Gardening, I did some volunteer work this past spring. Didn't know the gardening was even something I would like, but because of that volunteer work that I did, I started gardening with him and I realized that I love to garden. So these are things that I realize that I like to do. So start stepping out of your comfort zone and start doing new adventures. There are so many new adventures like waiting in our backyards, right? Waiting in the town next door. I mean, so many of them. And all we have to do is just go out and try it. I've done some breath work classes, I've done some yoga classes. I'd never done yoga before. It's all about meeting ourselves and learning what we like because you might be listening to this podcast and saying, like, well, Chrissy, I don't even know what I would like if I made a date with myself. What do I even make the date for? Because I don't know what I like. I hear you. I hear you because you know what? I don't either. I have been so stuck on these toxic relationships for the last 20 years. I have been so stuck on not even knowing what I liked because I was so focused on what my partner wanted. So every relationship I would get in, it was like, oh, what do they like to do? What do they want to do? And then I would just go along for the ride because I'm pretty go lucky like that. And I would just go along and do whatever. But like, I didn't even know what I like to do. And I'm still figuring it out. So I'm just trying new things. And I encourage you all to try new things and you will figure out what you do like and you will figure out how to put yourself first and how to love yourself. And I just think it's marvelous to do this. And I really want to take you guys on this journey with me. I think we should all be discovering new likes and new adventures that we can all go on. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So I wanted to make this episode and just talk to you guys about that because you know we need to love ourselves. We need to love ourselves. And we need to do that by putting ourselves first. Again, like nobody tells you how to do this. There's not a book that's wrote that says, oh, this is how you learn to love yourself. You learn to love yourself through the evolution of your soul. And that evolution will lead you to some of the greatest miracles that you've ever experienced. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I love you so much. I I just look forward to hearing from you guys. I'm still figuring my own life out, and I think it's really powerful when people can come together and try to figure out life together. I'm 45 years old and I'm still figuring shit out, and I think that's okay. It took me a long time to get here and a long time to realize that that's okay because I felt like I'd missed the boat. I felt like, okay, I'm 45. I've done missed the damn boat. It's left the building. Like I'm, what, 20 years from retirement at this point, from what society, quote unquote, says retirement is. And I'm having to like realize that I haven't missed the boat. That 45 is when you get to reinvent yourself, right? It's when all of the wisdom catches up with you, the wisdom that you've learned over the last couple decades, 4 decades, I guess you could say. But anyway, I could ramble on and on and on and talk to you guys for hours. But I would love to connect with people in person or at least like personally. That'd be cool. So you can follow me on Facebook if you would like. I will link my Facebook in the show notes. I am still waiting for people to reach out to me because I just love to connect with others and I'm hoping to have some things coming down the road, some maybe a little course, some community building where we can all just come together and do life together. So I think it'd be really cool. So anyway, I love you guys so much. So until next time, I am Chrissy signing off. Mwah. Bye bye.